Afraid of today's sky-high home prices? Well, there's no doubt that because of the lack of housing inventory nationwide, housing prices have been on a tear higher. In fact, according to CoreLogic that just released their July housing data, the annual appreciation for the previous year was 5.5%, and the monthly 1 month appreciation rate in the United States was 1.2%. It's almost hard to fathom how fast you can build wealth and equity in a market like this, but let me give you a simple illustration. If last July you would have purchased a $400,000 home and you would have put a 5% down payment, that means that you would have put $20,000 down. 1 year later, you would have seen a 5.5% increase in value of your home, which means your $400,000 home is now worth $422,000. And since you put a $20,000 down payment, you only owe $380,000, a little bit less because you've been paying down that mortgage for a year. And if you think of those numbers for a minute, you put down $20,000 and a year later you gain $22,000 in additional equity. That's greater than a 100% return on your investment in 1 year. It's incredible. Now, the fact remains that housing prices are on a tear, and because of the low inventory levels and record low interest rates, we think housing prices will continue to rise. But what most people don't understand when it comes to homeowner affordability, it's not just the price of the home you need to keep in mind. There's 3 components to homeowner affordability. The first is the price, which we know housing prices are going up, so relatively less affordable than they were last year. However, the other 2 components of affordability is also the amount of income that you're making. Most folks are making more income now than they were 5 or 10 years ago. And the third component is the interest rate. And with today's interest rates in many cases below 3%, homeowner affordability is actually shockingly high. In fact, if we look at the Housing Affordability Index, according to the National Association of Realtors, we can see that from 1990 all the way through 2008, the average range of this homeowner affordability index was somewhere around 120. Now keep in mind, the higher the number on the index, the more affordable housing is. Then we see the Great Recession years, where not only were housing prices very low because they cratered around that time, but also interest rates were low, making affordability incredibly affordable. But fast forward to the right of this graphic, what you're going to see is that today in 2020, even though home prices are higher, since interest rates are so much lower, they've offset one another. And housing today is actually more affordable than most periods going back all the way to 1990. Hey, we believe that buying a home and qualifying for a mortgage, finding the right mortgage strategy should be simple, low stress, and fun. We're here, we'd love to answer your questions, and we look forward to hearing from you.